Joining me now is our reporter, our Israeli reporter, who happens to be in Arizona tonight. But we have breaking news. We have more news than we can keep up with related to Israel. He joins us now because it looks as though, according to some reports, the idea of striking Iran by Israel and America is getting closer and closer. Aaron, welcome back to the broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
With you, Brandon.
Hey, can you confirm this? I trust this guy, Eli David. I trust his reporting. He never steers me wrong. What do you know about this? IRGC Quds Force commander is confirmed safe in Israel. He was an Israeli asset. This is how they were able to eliminate the Hamas leader, Haniyeh, and Hezbollah leaders, Nasrallah and others. What do you know about this?
Yeah, well, we have our intelligence. We have our friends here and there. And obviously, he was a friend and he was working from within. We all know about the Mossad and the CIA and
right.
co-op things that they do. So we go back to the 1973 Yom Kippur War, Brannon. The son-in-law of President Nasser, he also turned to Israel and gave us information that helped prepare us a little bit for the so-called surprise attack on Yom Kippur. So, yeah, I just hope he's safe. I just hope his family is safe. And God blesses him for helping us.
Mm. Well, here's an article from back in October. He's alive and is currently being interrogated in Iran, sources claim.
Yeah. Well,
so apparently he's now made it to Israel.
I mean, if they have the proof, yeah. Well, I'm going to wait and see until it's fully verified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are a lot of Iranian Jews living in Israel that speak Parsi. Many Iranian Jews, because they all fled. They all had to flee. I used to have a landlord who was an Iranian Jew. So lots of Iranian Jews. So they speak Parsi. And I hope he's woke. If he's in Israel, I hope he's being looked after. They just had the Iranian New Year a couple of days ago. So I hope he's celebrating in a peaceful place with a democracy, with freedom. And I hope, as I say, his family are safe as well.
All right. What are you hearing about the you said the other day you would not be shocked if America and Israel strike Iran in the next week, certainly in the next month. But you said I wouldn't be shocked if it has happened in a week. What are you hearing tonight?
I know. Well,
I think you just froze.
I haven't heard a lot of change except. I said yesterday that America are upping the ante as far as getting ships, aircraft, supplies. The report I heard today that a mass amount of American cargo planes and B-2 bombers are just nonstop making their way into the Middle East. Remember what Netanyahu said on October the 7th and October the 8th, Brandon?
Yep.
He said the Middle East will not be the same. And he obviously knew things that we didn't. And we are seeing what he predicted. It's insane. You know what the latest I heard, Brandon, today? That Trump, who's been talking with the Egyptian president, he just finished a long talk with the Morsi, the president, and but I've heard that under the scenes, behind the scenes, the new Syrian leader, Jolani, he and Israel are working towards some kind of peace.
How do you have an ISIS dude work peace with Israel?
I don't know. This is fresh off the press. Now, here's the other big news. To me, this is big news. The Turkey, they are seriously getting involved here. We know that the northern border of Syria is the southern border of Turkey. Turkey have moved into Syria. They are moving their air force and soldiers and heavy-duty surface-to-air missiles. Now, here's why it's big news. Israel are against, or rather, at the moment, there is bad blood between Israel and Turkey. In fact, just yesterday, Erdogan prayed that Allah would destroy Israel. This is the neighborhood that we live in, Brandon. Well, here's why it's big news. We all know, and let me remind the viewers, that Turkey are a member of NATO. And I quote, and I listen to this, Brandon, according to Article 5 of the NATO Charter, which states that an attack on any member is considered an attack on all members. So if Turkey, who are moving into Syria, decide that they want to start firing missiles at Israel and Israel retaliates, which we will, Article 5 of the NATO Charter says any attack on one member of NATO is an attack on all members. I'm telling you, it's heating up, and this is a strategic move of Erdogan. I think he's trying to bring division. He's trying to put a wedge, maybe even push America out of NATO. Maybe America will leave NATO.
Well,
I don't know.
Listen to what Channel 14 in Israel's reporting tonight. Here we go.
איומיו של דונלד טראמפ לא מותירים מקום...
We're going to have, you can understand that, right, Aaron?
I can.
All right, so Aaron's going to translate, folks. Stand by.
לספק, אנחנו גם רואים את אימוני חיל האוויר, ובסופו של דבר, מערכת הביטחון של ישראל, שרק מחכה לפקודה, צאו להתקפה על איראן. אם לא יקרה דבר דרמטי, תקיפה רחבת היקף של ארצות...
Okay, what's he saying?
So he's saying that, yeah, we're in the waiting zone, waiting to hit Iran. America are waiting, Israel are waiting. Carry on.
ארצות הברית לבדה באיראן תצא אל הפועל. אולי ישראל גם יכולה לתקוף לבדה, ואולי אפילו יש את המתווה המשולב, שהוא המועדף ביותר על ישראל. בכל תרחיש...
And that the Iranians, and I'm paraphrasing, basically their triggers are loaded. They're waiting for the attack. They're waiting to be attacked, I'm sorry. And they're planning some kind of attack themselves.
תספוג מהלומה קשה, ואולי אפילו אנושה שתזעזע את המשטר, האיראנים כמובן יגיבו, וישראל תהיה היעד העיקרי.
So that the Iranians will try to weather the storm, weather the attack, and retaliate back. I mean, my understanding is when Israel attacked Iran some months ago, we took out all their defense systems. But he was saying that the Iranians are saying, we will weather the attack and we will retaliate. Carry on.
שאליה תופנה מרבית האש. לאחר שבשנה וחצי האחרונות פירקה ישראל בעבודה קשה כמעט את כלל כוחו של חיזבאללה והחמאס כמובן ברצועה.
So he's saying for the last year and a half, Iran have been weakened, been attacked, as well as Hamas, one of their proxies. So I think the report is, I mean, obviously I didn't hear the whole report, but it's almost like he's questioning the sanity of the Khomeini. What's he talking about? Where's his air defense systems? You know, and is this a bluff?
All right, let's keep going.
איראן די תלויה בעצמה, ואולי יש לה את החות'ים שגם נמצאים במצב בעייתי, אחרי התקיפות של האמריקנים בשבועיים האחרונים. בהתאם לזאת...
Maybe the Houthis will get involved as well.
You say the Houthis are going to get involved as well? Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying? The Houthis will get involved?
Yeah, he's saying maybe the Houthis might get involved, yeah.
Okay.
איראן, שחרב מונחת על צווארה, צפויה לשגר את מלוא ארסנל הטילים והכטב"מים שלה, חלק מהם מתקדמים בעלי יכולות משמעותיות. ברשות משמרות...
Yeah, he started to talk about the drones, the very advanced drone systems that the Iranians have manufactured themselves, very advanced. And maybe the threats, and he's not saying this, Brandon, but I'm saying it, And because we keep hearing these threats of Iran that don't make sense, because like I said, their air defense systems pretty much and radars have been taken out. And when they keep saying we've got some surprises, maybe they've got surprises in the area of drones, Brandon, and maybe they have special, I don't know, chemicals, I don't know, but the drones are definitely a game changer in this war.
מהפכה, על פי הערכות, אלפי טילי קרקע וגם טילי שיוט, בעלי יכולת נשיאה של מאות קילוגרמים של חומרי נפץ, גם סדרת טילי השיהאב, סדרת טילי החייבר וכטב"מים מסוג שייט, שכל אחד מהם יכול להסב נזק רב לתשתיות צבאיות ואסטרטגיות ישראליות.
Yeah, he's basically talking about the quality, the quantity under the ground of these missiles and
In Iran,
especially under the ground and especially the drones, the quantity and the quality.
Has he said anything about what you guys are going to do?
Not yet, no.
All right, let's see if he does. Here we go.
וכמובן, גם לעורף הישראלי. במתקפות שראינו בשנה שחלפה, קיבלנו טעימה קטנה מיכולותיה של איראן. ייתכן שבמלחמה גדולה מולם, מערכות ההגנה האוויריות הישראליות יתקשו יותר לעמוד מול מתקפה רחבה.
So he's basically talking about the last year or so and the attacks that Israel has received at the hands of the Iranians, which seems to be a mild dose. But he's now getting on to that red word on the screen there. That means the challenge of the amount of missiles and what kind of defense that we are going to need for a potential onslaught of missiles that maybe Iran may fire upon us.
היקף של אלפי טילים במשך ימים, ועל כן העורף
in a matter of days. He's saying potentially it could be thousands in a matter of days. Remember, before the war started, Brandon, we were talking at least 100 to 150,000 missiles from Hezbollah, let alone Iran and the Houthis. So I don't think we've seen them all fired yet. Carry on.
יש להתענות. במקרה זה, צפוי שתהיה קואליציה בינלאומית שתתייצב לצד ישראל, לסכל את השיגורים. בפעמים הקודמות זה די הצליח.
Yeah. Who is going to be on Israel's side? That's the question. Who will support Israel? We've already talked about America and Israel going against Iran. Yesterday, I talked about possibly Britain, Germany, France. Let's see. See, the thing is...
By the way, did he say anything like an attack on Israel's coming that's unprecedented since World War II?
No, but the kind of talk that he didn't use those terms at all. But the way he was talking, he was saying it looks like it could be a big, big challenge for us. Big challenge.
I know you're here in the States. What are you hearing, personally on the ground from family members and friends?
Yeah, I mean, this happened before I came to the States, Brandon. There was a new heating up of the war. Definitely, Hezbollah have started firing on us again from the north. And of course, with the Americans brutally hitting on the Houthis, this could be a way by Hezbollah opening up again. And don't forget, during the ceasefire, they've been rearming. But it just seems, from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, we're handling the north. We're handling the north. And maybe this is the reason why the Americans are saying to Israel regarding the south, don't retaliate against the Houthis. We will deal with it. Maybe the Americans are saying, you deal with the north, we'll deal with the south. So, I'm not going to say you guys have got our back, but you guys have got our back. You guys are standing with us. And I mean, I don't want to say I don't think this has really started yet, but maybe this hasn't really started yet. I don't know.
Well, isn't it ironic? 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in Milwaukee, Waukesha, you and I, and Dr. Andy Woods, for our Understanding the Times Worldview Radio Rally. 2 weeks from tonight. A lot can happen in 2 weeks, so I don't know what's coming.
I know. Look what's happened in 2 days. I've got a whole list of updates, Brennan. It's just nonstop what's going on. Israelis abroad living outside of Israel have been warned in the synagogues around the world. They've been warned. But I am very concerned about Turkey getting involved here. This is a new front. They are, I wouldn't say they're the best friends of the Iranians, but if it comes to being an enemy of Israel, they wouldn't hesitate to join forces with the Iranians.
Well, let's talk about Russia, because Russia is warning about us attacking or striking Iran.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Here it is, right here. U.S. warns against U.S. strike on Iran sites, calls it catastrophic.
Yeah. Well, something that we haven't even talked about is, and this is where Trump comes in. It's the economic ramifications of what is about to happen. And when I say the economic ramifications, people taking over land means taking over natural resources.
Oil?
Whether it be oil, whether it be gas, whether it be I don't know, gold, silver, whatever it is. This is a big factor. And of course, the trade routes. And this is a big part of Donald Trump's strategy. If he wants to, make America great again, it's going to have to be also economically. And we know, I talked about one of his goals in taking over the Gaza Strip is to open up this, what's called the peace corridor, and make alliances with India, connecting the Europe, the West, with Asia, India, and bypassing China. It's a huge plan, Brennan, but they need that port in the Gaza area. But what is interesting
when you say they need that port, are you talking about? You're talking about the port, the Ben Gurion port we've been talking about?
Yes.
Which a lot of Americans don't know what we're talking about. We might have to remind them. There is the talk of, well, let me just put in, you keep talking, I'll bring up a map of it. Map will be much easier.
Yeah, this is being called the peace corridor, where, one of Trump's visions is not just to get rid of Hamas from the Gaza Strip, but to use that land and to use the port there, which is on the Mediterranean coast, somehow connecting Asia with Europe.
Yeah.
And it will go through a string of nations, including Saudi Arabia, including the United Arab Emirates.
Let me see if this report here, let's see what this is real quick. Let's see how well they do for us here. Hang on. Back that up if I can. All right. Whoop. Let me refresh it. Just back it up. All right, here we go.
Sea waterway, the Ben Gurion Canal, as a rival to the Suez Canal. As per the Israelis, the distance between Eilat, a southern Israeli port and resort town on the Red Sea near Jordan, and the Mediterranean is not long and is in fact similar to the distance of the Suez connection between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. Although it poses a direct threat to the Egypt-Suez Canal, but Suez Canal is shorter than the Israeli route and the Suez Canal rarely reaches 100 meters in height, making it a better option. At the same time, Israel says this route is good for the ships which are unable to transit Suez Canal due to restrictions on the size of the ship. In the mid-1800s...
Oh, there we go.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Maybe this is one of the main motivators why Trump is going after the Houthis, because the Houthis are stopping trade go through the Suez Canal. There billions, I'm talking hundreds of billions of dollars have been lost in trade, or prices have gone sky high because some ships have had to take the long route to get their supplies to different nations. And on top of that, just yesterday, the Iranians reminded the world that they control the Hormuz Strait. I think that was them flexing a little bit of muscle and trying to show their local people that we still have a sense of power. Yeah,
and that Ben Gurion Canal would go right through the Gaza.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It seems that Trump has been educated on that dream, that vision of Ben Gurion, and he's on board.
All right, let me go to another article real quick, Aaron, and that is, let's see here. Trump's threat to Iran that there will be bombing comes amid new B-2 stealth bomber moves. I think they've moved a bunch of them into the Diego area.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. That's what I was saying before. Absolutely. They're
the Diego Garcia, I guess a little British island, right?
Correct. Yeah, they're maneuvering. It's the game of chess. They're setting up. They're ready to attack. They're ready to attack, and Israel are on board as well. In Indiana the other night, Brandon, there was a big storm, and I'll never forget. It's the first time in my life I've been in a storm. You
don't get those in Israel?
Sorry?
You don't get those in Israel?
Not this kind of storm. No, not at all.
This would have been on Sunday night because I was watching the map.
Yeah. Tornado Alley, they told me. They didn't tell me, my host didn't tell me that I'd be there before I came, just after. But I'll never forget the calm before that storm hit. It was an eerie kind of a calm. We're feeling that. People back home are feeling that. They're preparing. They're while we've got the initiative, we've got the wind in our sails. We know that until the Iranians come to their knees, we're still in danger. And let's not forget the nuclear issue has not been solved yet. And until it has, we are under an existential threat. We cannot let them, and we've talked about this before, for all we know, maybe they already have. And maybe that's what Putin is referring to by saying that if we attack the Iranians, the results will be catastrophic. Maybe
of course, a lot of us over here are worried that when we go after with Israel, Iran, that's when China will go after Taiwan. In fact, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this latest report from RT. Here we go. That is, I guess, audio, but apparently there is moving into the region more and more. I guess the reports the last 20 hours is that Taiwan scrambles jets as Chinese vessels seen on exercise close to the island's coastline. And that's exactly what I was just showing you. So we're getting more and more reports of that. So isn't it interesting that as things are heating up, it looks like with Israel and America on Iran, China seems to be heating up on Taiwan.
And you've said this before, Brandon. I've heard you say it at least a few times. This could be a tactic.
Yep.
Getting the American ships and everything out of the way.
Yep.
Creating a vacuum. And China may be ready to go into that vacuum. But what is interesting, I heard Khomeini say, in his language, and it was translated, that America are very weak from the sea. And I don't get that, because I would say the extreme opposite. With all the aircraft carriers, in fact, just today, the USS, Carl Vinson? Aircraft carrier, another aircraft carrier turned up. So I don't know what kind of statement he meant when he said America are very weak from the sea. I don't see it that way myself.
Yeah, me neither. All right, well, things are going to be very fluid. We're looking forward to having you with us in Milwaukee 2 weeks from tonight. We have over 1,000 people registered by phone and online already. We're at the Waukesha Expo Center. It's free. You can register at worldviewtube.com/events, worldviewtube.com/events. We'll take an offering to offset our expenses. So renting the building is going to be a good $4,000. And then we're going to give speakers cover their hotel and their lodging and their flights. So we got to take an offering. But other than that, it's free. But you must register, folks, so we can be sure to have enough seats for everybody. worldviewtube.com/events. Closing comment?
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Brandon. And I'm so blessed to be part of this team and those people that support this ministry and who are going to be there. And I hope to meet them. We're all an army here, and we're fighting against darkness. We're standing up for the truth, but it's a battle. So we need prayer and resilience.
Be safe. Aaron, lighttothenationsministry.com. Lighttothenationsministry.com, brought to you by our foundation, worldviewfoundation.com. Thank you, Aaron. worldviewfoundation.com. Folks, again, I cannot stress enough the foundation. I know you may get tired of hearing me talk about it, but this is one of our, next to Bella Grace, this is our biggest sponsor. So please go there, worldviewfoundation.com, worldviewfoundation.com. You also find our mailing address there. If you prefer to support us through the mail or by phone, you can set up an automatic credit card or PayPal automatic contribution, or just make a one-time. We are looking for more regular monthly contributors. Do please consider setting up an automatic monthly contribution. That takes a lot of stress off of us, and we can see what's coming in each and every month. So thank you for that.